suffers a bit from that tag of being Brazilian. Maybe it's
Right.
still early days for him. But yeah, I wouldn't pass any judgment for my part. I don't feel I've watched him enough to make that. But yeah, I'm sure what you say has some merit.
Right, okay. Fair enough. Now, from one Brazilian to another Brazilian, and I'm just connecting the dots here. So Casemiro was like that when he first
Mm,
went to Manchester United.
yeah.
At one point, we were thinking, well, sell this guy. And now, according to stats, he is one of the Manchester United's most goals. He's got most goals for Manchester United this season. So this season, Bueno's got 5 goals and Casemiro's got 3 goals. So closely behind Bueno. So he's improved, isn't he?
Mm,
I mean, I wouldn't say what I would say about Casemiro last season, this season. I wouldn't, because I see that he's really improved. Even for Brazil, when Brazil played a friendly against Senegal, he actually scored a goal as well.
mm,
So he's starting to live up to that Brazil expectation,
yeah.
if
Yeah.
if we can call it that. Now, Crystal Palace against Fulham,
Fulham.
against Fulham
At
in the
Fulham. Yeah. Yeah.
um, now there was a disallowed goal um, against the Fulham player because he touched the ball in the build-up. But then when the VAR decision came out, that wasn't what was talked about. What
Wasn't
the ref,
mentioned, was it?
it wasn't, yeah, it wasn't mentioned. What the reason for disallowing the goal was then that one of the players involved in the build-up of the goal was offside. Was offside by the VAR. Now I thought, now I just I looked at that and I thought, well, I love Crystal Palace, so I was happy. I was happy. But had it been any other team, I would have looked at that more critically. I would have thought, well, actually, if you're not going to talk about the fact that he was on the floor and he touched the ball, and you're going to talk about the offside, which is both valid anyway, I have a problem with that. Did you? Well, you watched the match, didn't you?
Well, yeah,
What?
I was there at Craven Cottage, and
Yeah,
it's a great stadium. I say little stadium. They got a nice new stand, but it is a great stadium right by the River Thames there. And you still at the one corner of the ground. I don't know whether you've been there, but there's the old cottage, which is a listed building, so they can't demolish it. So
right.
like there's this like on one corner this. It's bigger than a cottage, but it is a cottage, so it limits what they can do. But then it's kind of an excellent part of the legend of that Craven Cottage. Yeah, I mean, as far as I could see, I mean, of course, it's the one thing about VAR which can be frustrating for fans, because when they got that goal, they were going 2-1 up. We scored first, they equalised, and then they got this goal. And it was at the other end from where we were. But yeah, it was on VAR for some little while, and then eventually it was disallowed. I actually forget. I could hear the ref was talking, but you can't always understand what they say. But when I saw the pictures, I think the next day on Match of the Day or whatever, the
Mhm.
offside was like the end of his boot. It was so very small, but offside is either offside or it's not. So,
Yeah.
so that I mean, I'm not sure. I don't remember I don't remember anybody saying about a handball or somebody it touched on
Mhm.
the way there. But yeah, you could say that was unfortunate. But offside, if that was in the build-up, then it's not a goal. As simple as that. Simple as that. But
Yeah.
equally, the other side of that is there was an incident where a Palace player was definitely fouled because they showed this again, I think, on Match of the Day. where he was fouled, and it was inside the area, just on the front edge of the area, and that was I think that was VAR'd, and it was said no goal. So in a way, one thing balances the other out. If in fact the Fulham goal should have stood, but from what I saw, it was, albeit by a couple of toe lengths, it was offside. So these things are there, and I think it's why VAR should be there. I know it can be really frustrating. I mean, you like any team, we've cheered before. You go mad when the goal scored, and then VAR, you think, oh, here we go, and then it's disallowed, and all that elation at scoring, maybe it's an equaliser or going ahead, evaporates. Conversely, if you celebrate a goal and then the VAR and they say, yeah, it's a goal, you get a double celebration. You can celebrate the same goal twice. So I don't think anyone calls for it not to be there now. VAR is a definite positive addition. But no, I think the Fulham goal clearly didn't stand for good reason. Why he didn't give Palace the penalty, I think it was Darren England, another ref who was the VAR ref. You never know. It's their judgment, along with his team, the VAR ref, and you got to go with the judgment. But on balance, I mean, I would say this, wouldn't I? I think Palace, possibly a draw might have been the right result, but maybe Palace just edged it. Fulham are a good side. They got some very good players in there. And before the game, I said to someone, I think Harry Wilson is going to score. He's one of Fulham's players. And he did. And he hit the ball with the outside of his left foot, going away from the goalie. And equally, I mean, we were behind the goal out in the first half. And Dean Henderson, I might say England's number one, we sing, but technically, I suppose to Pickford, he's number two. But he makes some incredible saves. And in the first half, I think the score was 0-0. And one of their players, I forget who it was, doesn't matter really, but fairly close range, he hit a thunderball, and it was smacking into the goal. And I think all of us were, oh, here we go, we're going one down. And it was so short range, and it was like a bullet. And suddenly Henderson, who does this sort of save, his hand went up, his reflexes must be incredible. And the pace of the ball would probably have knocked most people's arms off, let alone, but he's obviously got such strong hands and arms, wrists, a lot, which a goalkeeper, I suppose, practices with. And he deflected it over the bar. It was shown very